So this little project I got for today is going to be a piston, or hopefully both pistons for my Hoglet engine that I'm building. I have some time off of work and I'm going to play for a while. That's going to be the end of that. And hopefully I can get to the point where I can actually run this thing before I have to go back to work. But anyhow, today I'm going to try to complete this section of the piston. Now all we're going to do here is we're going to cut the groove for a Viton seal, which is basically a O-ring, but it's really a special O-ring, and it's very hard, and it is good for high temp. I don't think this thing is going to be putting out major amounts of heat because it's never going to run that long. But what we have to do is come back a certain distance. We're going to cut a little groove, and after we cut that groove, I'm going to cut it to length, and that'll be the first part of making this piston. After that, we're going to take it over to the mill, and we're going to drill a hole for the wrist pin, and then we're going to flip it up on end and hollow out some of the inside to both make it lighter and make the connecting rod have enough room to move around. So that being said, let me get this cutoff tool squared up here, and then we're going to put a dial indicator on it so we can measure back the correct distance from the top of the piston. This would be the top of the piston. So what we do is, you won't be able to see that part of it unless I go out. Let me go out. Oh yeah, we can try that. You won't be able to see very good, but at least you'll be able to kind of get an idea what I'm doing here. This is just a magnetic base for a dial indicator. So what we do is put this into position, and we are going to come back. I have all this information written down by my computer, so I'll have to step away for a second. But oh, that's nice. Let's zero this out. Okay, so from the top of this piston, we're going to go back. I better look at the directions. I'll look at the directions and I will be right back. So hold on. Okay, I am back. I don't think you're going to be able to see the dial indicator moving, but we'll see what happens. So I have to go back 1.875. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 5, 8, 6, 8, 7. And there were a couple of things off. And what we're going to do is we are just going to lightly tighten that down so it doesn't move. Now, what we're going to do is going to move it in until it just touches. And I'm going to reset the dial indicator because we're going to go in just a certain amount. So So that number is the thickness of the O-ring, so the O-ring is not stretched. When it goes over, it's just going to be a fit where the O-ring kind of sits in place and doesn't get stretched out at all. This is the O-ring. It's very light, and I would have never thought that it would work for a piston ring, but as I was watching a bunch of videos, obviously I saw them. I said, well, here I go. So, depth of that is going to be 0.066. So here we go. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see what's going on here. You won't be able to see the dial indicator. Oh well. A little aluminum's favorite, WD-40. 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05, 0.06, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just about a half of that. That should be the depth that we need. So, clean this off. Now this cutoff tool that I got is not quite wide enough for this O-ring, so I have to open this up just a smidgen. So what I'm going to do is back this off a little bit, and dang it, I didn't want to do it that way. We're just going to move her a little bit, and we're going to open that up. 1.066 again. Okay. See if our O-ring fits. If it does not, then we make it bigger. It's pretty tight. A little smidge more. Doesn't take much. I believe that will do it. Yep. Oh, that's nice. So now we're going to reset this, and we're going to cut the whole dang thing off at 1 inch long. First, we're going to do a little deburring on all that. Okay, here we go. Let's cut this baby off. It's amazing how much work goes into this little piston. But this is all by hand. So I would imagine, you know, the way they did it a long time ago. Running straight anymore. I don't want that live center at the top of the piston. But before I finish, I'm going to get in here with a file and do a quick deburring. Take much, just a little touch. Let's get this thing off here. Cut at a weird angle. It's okay. We're going to take that out anyway. Looks pretty good. I'm going to put that O-ring on and see how well it fits in the cylinder. I did a test fit earlier on one. This will be up front. And it went down and created a lot of suction. I won't be able to test it that way now because it's separate. I wish I knew how to do camera work. But be right back. So let me widen this thing out a little bit here. So here it is. You can feel the pressure. Wow, it's unbelievable with that little O-ring. I know you can't you can't see it, but there's actual pressure being built just by pushing that piston up and holding my hand over the top. Hear that? Let's see if we can do it again. No, it was like a little fart. That is so cool. So there it is. And that piston just drops through there. I don't know. If I go like this, the piston doesn't come out, but I let that go and the piston drops right out. So that O-ring must not need much. I'll tell you what. You can feel the suction. Very cool. Very cool. Now we get to do the drill and ream the wrist pin, and then we can hollow out the bottom of this piston. It's not a horribly difficult thing here. A nice reamer. Got a 1/4 inch hole. We're going to use a nice polished 1/4 inch rod for the wrist pin, and then I'm going to figure out how to hold it in. They had some little plastic things that pushed on the side. I don't know that I want to do that, so I'm going to see what I can find out. As far as I don't know, I might go ahead and Loctite it maybe? I don't know. We'll have to see what comes in my decision making. Could change in any minute, because I change all the time. Should be going a lot slower, but I'm not gonna. There you go. Drilled and reamed. Pretty gnarly. I have to clean all that up, obviously. Where the hell am I? There we go. Up, down, around, up there. It's all icky. So we're going to deburr that, and then we're going to see what it takes to hollow this whole thing out to fit the connecting rod. And lighten her up just a touch. Okay, back on the piston. We're going to get this all centered up. And once I get it centered up, we're going to make a cut. 2 different cuts. One's going to go right down the center. It's going to be a rectangle that goes this way, and that'll be 3/8 of an inch wide by whatever the depth is. That's going to take a few minutes, and then we're just going to clean this whole top out 3/8 of an inch down right before the pin, just to kind of give it a lot less weight. So let's get her centered up. Edge of that pin is .200, so in order to find the edge, I have to go over .100, that'll be our edge. And we take our piston width, it's 996. Okay. And just to verify, our piston is we got 0.999. I guess it was 998, but this one is 0.999. The other one is 0.998. So do we divide that in half? We go over halfway, that's our center here, and then we go back and forth to our other amount. So we take our calculator, 0.999 divided by 2, 4995. So what I have on here is a couple of digital DRO readouts. So I'm going to go over 0.4, 995, 4995. Moves a little bit when you tighten it. That's not good. I suppose it doesn't have to be that perfect. Not going to Mars with this thing unless it runs good. And we do the same thing with our forward to back. I already found the edge finder edge on that. So we're going to go over 4, 9, that's our center there. So how I do this is I'm going to use a 3/8 end mill. I'm going to use a 3/8 end mill and then just plunge cut and then go back and forth, plunge, go back and forth, plunge and go back and forth until I get to my right depth. And then I'm going to come in and clean it up a little bit with a smaller radius corner, because this is going to be a pretty big radius corner. And I'm guessing that I'm going to need to do that only because the connecting rod is going to hit on the corners. So we'll get started on this. We're going to get the right depth. Blah, blah, blah. And then start cutting away. Excuse me. So you got a total depth of 0.800. So let me find this edge quickly. And we'll go from there. And zero our depth. Get our piece of paper out of there. Now we're going to take the edge of this, and the edge of this is how far we're going to move back and forth. So we got to take this 3/8 of an inch, divide that in 2, and that's how far we go this way, and that's how far we go that way. So 0.375 divided by 2 is 1.875. So after I make my initial plunge, I'm going to go 0.1875 proud this way and 1.875 proud that way. So that being said, let's get it to her and see what happens. I'm just going to do a light cut and do a quick measurement. Just going to go 0.186, leave me a little room to clean up. So I'm going to get my guessometers out, take a quick measurement, see if we're even close. And then this will be a process. Seven, 4, 6. 7, 4, 6, and we're looking for let's see, 7, 4, 7, 7, 4, 8. Almost 3/4 of it. And we're only supposed to be at 625. So I'm glad I only went so far. Let's get back to our center. So there's our center again. So we got point. Oh, I gotta figure this out. I can't do it in my head. So I was off some, but that's okay. It says we only gotta go 1/8 of an inch. Either way. So start there, see what happens. 1/8 inch. See what we get out. Looks pretty good. Looks like I'm almost to the bottom of the pinhole for the wrist pin. So let's get her back to 500. Should be that. Now, I'm going to see, before I take this bit out, I'm going to see if my boring head will fit in there. I think it will. If not, I have to make a little bigger. Nope, I got to make a little bigger hole. So, let me get that started. Yeah. Not much. Once I get going, it'll be fine. So let me do this manually. So imagine it has to be pretty. Get me started. I hope, right? I hope. Like I said, I have no clue what I'm doing. But I'm having fun doing it. I learn as I go. I'm going to get the boring head kind of set up. Hitting the bottom of that, the bottom of the bore where I stopped cutting it. It gets kind of jumpy. So let me see what my measurement's supposed to be. Get the guess meters out. Do a quick measure. .807. I think I'm supposed to be at 800. Actually, it says 809. It says 809, but I got a little booger there, right here. I'm going to try to get that out a little bit. Let's just see what happens. I don't know that it makes that much difference, but we don't want it to be too thin either, so. Just about got it. I believe we're done, folks. I believe we're done. Let's get this bad boy out of here. There we go. Let's just get this out and see what we look like. Does it look like a piston? I think so. I think it looks like a piston. What do you guys think? I think it looks like a piston. There's all that chatter. There's the room for the connecting rod. Looks pretty good. Now we can do number 2.